Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Herring, would you say that the FBI's investigation and the delivery of documents have been very systematic and principled?
Yes, as far as delivery of...
So there's no haphazard method of delivering documents?
The documents we provided to Congress, sir?
Yes.
No, I think it's been thoughtful and deliberative. And
Okay. Can you tell me why you didn't deliver the documents that the chairman asked for on July the 11th to the committee? You didn't deliver them to the committee. You actually delivered them to another entity, did you not?
That's correct. We delivered it.
Why did you not deliver it to the committee?
Well, because those documents contain classified and other sensitive materials and need to make sure they're handled appropriately.
All right. So are you willing to deliver all the unclassified documents to this committee?
So I think that
Yes or no? Because you can't have the first statement without the second statement. If the reason you sent it there was because it was classified, are you willing to give all the unclassified documents to this committee?
So the documents that we
Yes or no?
we will give so we've given certain documents to the committee already.
Yes or no? It is a real simple question. Will you give all the unclassified documents to this committee, since the reason that you gave them to somebody else was that there was classified documents?
So the documents...
Yes or no?
The documents have restrictions on them. And
Yes or no? Why would they have, who placed the restrictions? You?
No.
FBI?
Yes.
So the answer is you place restrictions, so you're not going to give the unclassified documents to this committee.
So we've given this committee access to all the documents through...
That's not the question. It's a great answer to a question I didn't ask. Are you willing to give the unclassified documents to this committee?
All I can do is tell you that I'll take it back.
All right, so let me ask you another question, because you said that it was systematic. I went to the classified room, and there's two big binders there. One binder had some documents. The second binder that we got from the FBI had more documents than the first binder, and yet they were supposed to be identical. Would you say that was...
So I'd like to address this in the classified setting, if I could. I think
was that an oversight?
I think the details are important of what the differences are.
But we just asked for a second copy, so would that not be haphazard? It doesn't seem too methodical, because when we went page for page, they didn't match up. So who made the decision to give us a different set?
I'd like to address that in the closed session, please.
Well, let me just say this. There was 27 new emails. There was a number of different types of information that didn't seem to go, and I don't want to share anything classified, so you admit that the first set and the second set were not identical.
They were not identical. There were some differences.
Okay. So what were the non-classification agency equities that prevented the initial disclosure of the 27 emails that we got in the second batch?
Again, classified session, I'd prefer to discuss.
Were all of those from one agency?
I would prefer to address it outside of this setting.
Okay, I understand that all of those were from one agency. Is that correct?
Look, the whole issue is sort of the handling of classified information.
So what was the agency?
I don't want to get into that here in this setting. I'm happy to answer your question.
Well, I have one of the emails that was withheld that said that it was later marked unclassified / CIA use only. So was that your justification for withholding it?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand.
Well, it said unclassified CIA only. So, Mr. Higgins, let me come to you. Did you read those emails that were in the second batch?
Sir, I'd prefer to answer any questions about the classification review in a closed setting.
All right. So no reason why they were withheld?
I'd prefer to answer any questions about the classification
All
review
right.
in a closed setting.
So I understand you're asking for those documents back. Is that correct? That's not classified. Are you asking for them back?
Sir, I'd prefer in a closed session to answer any questions about the classification review.
All right. Did Director Brennan talk to you about that, Mr. Higgins?
Again, sir, I'd prefer to answer those questions.
All right. I can see where this is leading. So let me finish by this saying, you have finished all the redaction. Is that correct, Mr. Herring, on what you gave us on the unclassified documents? the redaction, the copies that we got to see on those unclassified documents, are the redactions done?
For the ones that you all have, yes.
All
They're
right.
not
So
necessarily.
will you comply with the federal law to release those in 20 days according to FOIA law? I'll yield back.
Sorry, what was the gentleman's answer? What was your answer to that question?
The redactions are completed for the ones that are here with Congress, the ones we've released. We're working on the remaining 302s. The PII redactions for the remaining 302s are all in process.
Well, what I believe Mr. Meadows is asking is that under FOIA, there's a 20-day requirement to respond to a FOIA request. Now that we know that they're all done, will you release those within the 20-day time frame?
So I'm not a FOIA guy. They're not all completed for the other 302s. The
Are
remainder
there any that are completed?
I'm sorry?
Are there any that are completed?
I don't know the status. I don't know the status of all the
We'll
ones.
go into that
that
tomorrow.
process.
We've gone past our time. Let's now